Welcome back to another episode of the Phoenix Truth Rising Show. This is the Spaceman 2.0, here to help you grow in the knowledge and wisdom of truth. This is the creation story, the sacred universe, incubation of the Phoenix. We're going to continue right on. I thank all my subscribers. I finally passed 100 subscribers. I got 101, but one of the latest subscribers, Merrick546, thank you very much. There's been a few others. I wrote down the names, but I cannot find them right now. I thank you all. Even if just one hears this and it touches your heart and helps you grow, then I've done my job, but I wish that many more will come into understanding of this work. So with that being said, let's carry on with part 4 of creation, the sacred universe. Might you now see more clearly why it is absolutely essential in these closing days of the cycle to release your interpretations? They belong to the past. Life exists eternally in the present. You are intended to share in this eternal life, but to do so you must release identification with the past lies put upon you for your misinformation and misperceptions. You must release identification with the material garments you wear and accept the creative definition that life gives to you in this present moment. What do you call Satan? His body is the past, his breath the future, energized by your past-oriented guilt and your future-oriented fear. He follows you around like some vast cosmic shadow. He casts his nets of fear on the waters of your awareness, then draws them with ropes of reason back into a guilt-ridden past. You can only experience in the moment. All is the present, and you must reevaluate that which is fed onto your consciousness, lest you end your journey before coming into understanding. Let me illustrate for the sake of example. Your presence might well be compared to an inflatable balloon, a plasmic membrane of sorts. It is designed to be filled to the full with the energy and power of life. Like two gigantic tears in the side, guilt and fear allow the precious life substance to escape, leaving you withered, ineffectual, and short-lived, all the while using your own life substance to energize everything that you fear. Move into reverse. It is easy to reverse the situation. Let yourself die to the past and wake up in the present moment. Why should you hesitate? Are your past experiences really comprehensive enough to provide a basis for understanding everything you encounter in the present? Do they truly deserve the authority and credibility that you give them? How attentive were you to all the factors that were present in the moment of their occurrence? If you are preoccupied with experience, how attentive will you be to what is occurring in this very moment? Where is your attention right this moment? You must be wherever your attention takes you. In fact, you are your attention. If your attention is fragmented, you are fragmented. When your attention is in the past, you are in the past. When your attention is in the present moment, you are in the presence of God, and God is present in you. Let yourself die to all that does not really exist and discover what does. Let go of all you think you know. Be honest. All you know is of the past. It does not exist in the eyes of God. In the eyes of God, your knowledge is but dust in the eye of a child, blinding you to the splendor of creation. You know, in effect, nothing of eternal significance, for you have forgotten that which really was and cling unto that which is brief and spoiled by the lies given to trip you up along the path of experience. I have one bit of clarification on to Patricia, who went too far and equated herself with being at the bottom. I know what she meant, but the group did not. She does have a nasty habit of discounting self-worth, which is insult unto God. However, being at the bottom is actually being at the summit, because the circle of life moves from the one extreme into the other rather abruptly at times. There is no actual difference in the circumstances in the least. If you once can but put aside the ego and honesty without giving it perfection nor imperfection, you would gain greatly and swiftly. Accept those things which were incorrect in information and give honor unto the creation which you are. Be most careful, for as with a Patricia, you hold to the expectations of past and insist that the same abuse and lack of acceptance shall come upon you, making it necessary that in the physical consciousness that it is what must occur. In other words, all agreed with the concept as expressed in the group, but you must understand the significance of that which was stated and remove it from individuality in the holding. Do not allow the luxury of being a martyr wherein there is not one placement intended. To suffer for the show of suffering is foolish indeed, for it detracts from the truth espoused. You all must be at awareness of intent at all times of thine experience, lest you fall into deeper traps than that which you just extracted self. You know, in effect, nothing of eternal significance. When you operate on the basis of your so-called knowledge, you are operating without divine foundation. Belief in your own knowledge is not belief in God, dear ones. Trust in your own knowledge is not trust in God. No matter how much you learn within your present framework of finite knowledge, it will never be even one step closer to an understanding of God, the universe, or yourself. Knowledge, as you presently understand it, will never bring you closer to life. Do not cling and imagine righteousness, for that is where many of you continuously reside. Do not cling to this or that segment of your experience, as if this or that piece of the past were somehow worth a saving. Well, you say, I will die to everything but this or that. This is too sacred. This means too much to me. Let it go. Does it mean more than life? You don't need it anymore, whatever it might be. You fear not surviving. You are usually concerned that some aspect of your identity will not somehow survive the psychological process. You might well be correct in the perception of same, but you may just as well be wrong. Let it go. It makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. There are no guarantees that this or that is going to survive the sight of God, but the only things that are threatened, the only things that will not survive, are the things that do not exist apart from your conceptions, things that have no reality apart from the reality that you give them. The only essential thing to you is being sustained by the creative power of the living God. All that you sustain in existence through the misuse of creative abilities only serves to involve you in areas where your own life energies become mischanneled and eventually dissipated. Any belief, any concept, any conviction that you might have that truly mirrors what is present in the mind of God will still be there on the other side of the psychological process. Only that which has sought to cheat you of your destiny will perish. It is really very simple. Let it all go. See what God has in store. Hesitations, which you feel are only indicative of a continued trust in fear and reason. These are the false gods of the cycle of the ages in which you find yourself experiencing. They will continue to enslave you until your trust is restored in love and light. Trust God implicitly and explicitly, and the truth of his divine design will be revealed in every situation. This design is your own operating manual. Ignore it in favor of your own interpretations, and you are ignoring the blueprint for your own identity. Specific information of each and every situation is being supplied to you continually by the source of infinite knowledge. Why do you not trust it? Your first impulse will always be, as it has always been, the programmatic instruction from your subliminal analysis system and the advice of your creator. It will be a direct message from your true self, the impulse of life, the gateway to all that you call heaven. It is the spontaneous spark of divinity as it differentiates through you into your environmental situation. It can assess and evaluate the factors present in any situation at a rate of speed far exceeding a rational thought process. You have all the pertinent information in the universe available simply for the asking, as quickly received as the thought itself, actually prior to the thought itself. When you are aware of your totality, the life impulse will transmit to you everything that you need to know in any given situation. Its message will always come as your first spontaneous impulse, so that you must be attentive and then do not effort so hard at discounting of it. You will always be given to know instantly that response requested. Until you recognize your own totality, how can you expect to guide thine brother through the maze? For it will be through example that you will learn and see, not from all the lecturing in the universe. So be it. Dharma, allow us to close this writing. I shall dwell on the subject through the following sequence of penning, for it is necessary that man come within balance. We shall simply function as best the human limitations allow us ability. You ones can know every detail of the plans of the elite brotherhood of darkness for your downfall, and still not have the slightest notion of that which you can do about it without coming into an understanding of self. We simply must take the time away from the physical aspect and perceptions to speak of the spiritual truth, lest you become distracted into the frivolous, as if it were a sacred thing onto life. It is only pertinent onto death of physical perceptions, and yet you are manifested into the dimension of physical experience, and thusly must the experience be confronted, and the changes must come through the power and control of the spiritual knowledge of truth. God does not move from man. Man efforts to move from God. Salah. I shall move to stand by that you might take rest. These, Dharma, are the words which will save man's souls in this blind journey. We must set this document forth in prior order with all possible life-perceived necessities set aside in your attention. Man flounders upon the brink of destruction and cannot seem to grasp a handhold on the polished surface of the mountainside. We must build him a stairway if we expect to help him reach the stars. Salute. hATONnn the clear, please. Thank you, Chela. You are my hands of the physical plane, and I bow in gratitude for the service rendered by you of my brood. May we never falter in our work, lest our brothers perish in the darkness. Salom. Chapter 15, Tuesday, November 13th, 1990, 1 p.m., Year 4, Day 89. Am I lower class, that I would stoop to be of service and wash of the feet of another? Nay, I am great enough. Ponder it. I am. Will you come and walk with me? So be it. I petition to you to come within the lighted way, and come with me, that you can find peace in this valley of shadows of the physicalness of experience. No intent or query in the intent toward God is too small, nor too large for my attention, be it offered in truth. And furthermore, I am given to know the difference. Oneness. Dharma, we will share of these truths of life, that we will fulfill our accepted mission. I am from the presence, wherein there is not time, but only the eternal now. I experience in the dimension chosen to be close unto thine own, that we may come into communion and again bringing truth of being upon this wondrous creation. I retain, even in the midst of this very relationship, the awareness of your realm and of the universal being, which inhabits it as well as the cosmos. I bring a message that is vital to you in these final days of your historical journey. Do not be astounded nor confounded by my presence, for my individual identity comes into being only as I enter the context of my relationship with you. When you are no longer needed in this capacity, I, like you, will merge back into the being behind all being. There I, as will you, remain in unity and fulfillment until the next impulse comes to send us on another mission. In the interim, there is no distinction between me and the source. I and others of my kind desire at this time to bring humans to the same level of awareness. It is urgently mandatory that this be accomplished, and that there be at least a remnant of truth to extend through the physical and into the birthing and presence of the new. It would mean nothing to you if I tell you I am a focus of sorts of collective consciousness, for I represent that which is manifested in reality, the same as are you, manifested into form as projected by our journey in connection one with the other, each only to perform to the best ability our function and service onto that source. You cannot yet suspect what the singularity of a collective human consciousness might be. You still draw identity from the present form of your expression. You feel defined and limited by flesh and bones and conscious limitation of perception and understanding. This is the purpose, but also comes the purpose of reaching beyond and into the reality of truth of existence. Ours is a task of leaving truth into the hands of the multitudes, and so shall it be. That being said, this is part 4 of the creation story, and I'll be back with another episode. This is the Spaceman 2.0, and